7 years ago, Arlie Russell Hochschild, renowned book, Strangers in Their Own Land, was published shortly after Trump entered the White House. It was about the right-wing counter-reaction to the Obama era, but it also helped people to understand the factors that gave rise to the MAGA movement. For her latest book, Stolen Pride, Loss, Shame, and the Rise of the Right, she spent time in the town of Pikeville, located in Kentucky's 5th Congressional District. It's one of the whitest and poorest districts in the nation, and it remains a Trump stronghold. In the first chapter of Stolen Pride, Hochschild explains why she pursued this project. Quote, I took with me to Pikeville a deep interest in the emotions underlying politics, and in particular, the emotions of pride and shame. If a leader appeals to a follower, it's usually emotion to which he or she appeals. Emotion is not a casual add-on to the cognitive talk of policies we think of as politics. On the contrary, politics can be the platter on which emotions are delivered. And to understand politicized emotion, we need to understand what people have gone through and care about, end quote. Joining me now is Arlie Russell Hochschild, Professor Emerita of Sociology at the University of California, Berkeley, best-selling author of many books, including the brand new book, Stolen Pride, Loss, Shame, and the Rise of the Right, and, of course, the aforementioned Strangers in Their Own Land, Anger in Mourning, and Mourning on the American Right. Arlie, great to see you. Thank you for being with us again.
Great to see you, Arlie. Yeah.
This is what you do. The rest of us talk about these things. You go and immerse yourself in what people are thinking that leads them to act as political beings a certain way. You actually believe that that degree of empathy is key to understanding the problems that we've got. The rest of society is busy othering everybody. You're not doing that in your book. You didn't do it in your last book, and you're not doing it here either.
You know, Ali, exactly. And you use this word, politics of grievance. And that's exactly what I'm trying to understand. One guy that I talked to said, oh, Donald Trump, why, he's lightning in a jar. Well, I asked him, well, what is the lightning? How does that work? How does it strike the jar? How does this kind of right-wing charismatic authority really land on the ears of the people who are listening to him, who are mainly white and mainly male? That's who gets excited by this, and they mainly don't have BAs. So, yeah, I went to this completely whitest and second poorest area. 13% have BAs. But don't go to any stereotypes with this. And why were they going for Trump? They were Roosevelt Democrats. They were Bill Clinton Democrats. And now 80% the last two elections for Trump. And what I did say, what I'm trying to do in this book is to make us bilingual. So we listen both to the rational and to the emotional, especially pride and shame. Because what I think we have here is a guy, Trump, who for personal reasons feels shamed. I think he does, harsh father. And that would be neither here nor there, except that it's taught him how to drill into the kind of shame felt by a very proud people, coal miners. We kept the lights on. We won World War I, won World War II. So they have been structurally shamed. And I think he appeals to that by turning shame to blame. And I think he does it in he has an anti-shame ritual that he runs us through that goes like this. And it's almost every week, every day. For moment one, he says something transgressive. All immigrants are poisoning the blood of America, or they're eating your pet cat or dog. Moment one, transgressive state. Moment two, the punditry shames Donald Trump for saying this outrageous thing. You can't say that. And look, America's an immigrant society. How can you say that? How can you promote a lie? Okay, so moment two, punditry shames Donald Trump. Moment three, Donald Trump becomes the victim of this shaming. He says, oh, look how hard it is. Look, they're all ganging up on me. Had they ganged up on you? Do you feel shame too? Yeah, I'll take the hit for you because they're coming after me now, but they're coming after you later. And in moment 4, Donald Trump roars back at the shamers. That's cathartic for them. Yeah. And I think actually that the Democratic part of America is listening to moment 1 and moment 2, the outrageous state of the shaming, but that the Republican part of the country is listening to moment 3 and moment 4. And that is to feel his victimhood and his revenge. And that is how shame is turned into blame, which has grown and grown and grown. The little moments, the 1, 2, 3, 4 have changed through time. The issues have changed, but that repeated ritual is working on people. And so, yeah, the Democrats need to first see that's what's going on. When it looks like he's just railing and off the rails and they are duped. No. There's a language we need to tune into and get heard so that our very good proposals can be heard.
So it becomes very natural to want to shame someone for something that they do that you think is inappropriate, wrong, racist, whatever the case is. But sounds to me, and I remember this from your last book, that your argument is that ultimately that doesn't work. So what are you supposed to do? When you hear this kind of behavior, you hear moment 1 and moment 2, what can you do better in a society where we're trying to model dialogue in politics to avoid moments 1 and 2 becoming 3 and 4?
You stop at 1, you say, yeah, no, that isn't success. It isn't true. It isn't acceptable. But then you say, but there are a lot of people out there in America who don't feel heard and who feel shamed. You intercept after moment 2 and you say, actually, we do hear you. You create a competing narrative in which you listen to them. And I talked to a lot of people, actually, who were high school educated poor, like one guy who said, I'm trailer trash, okay? I'm white, I'm poor, I'm not working, and I'm surrounded by drugs here. What's the difference between me and some Black guy in the ghetto? We're the same, but the Democrats aren't talking to us. They don't see that. They don't talk social class. They don't talk poverty. And so he's not voting, for Kamala. He's not voting for Trump either. He feels stuck without a narrative. So what we can do is to say, we see you. And actually, the policies that Biden's promoting are for you. And there needs to be a new channel of communication. I think that's how we intercept this 1, 2, 3, 4.
The thing that's very similar to your last book is this concept of being able to empathize. Right. And our polarized politics in this country and basically around the world work very actively against that, Arlie. It works against empathizing with people who are not on your side. We are about defeating people who are not on our side. That's a big ask, right? Asking people to get over that and say, think about this a different way is big. You think it's doable for somebody who's not you, who doesn't go and immerse yourself in these unusual places?
What I do is easy and anybody could do it. And and the book is an invitation for us all to do this. And the people I talk to, I could actually try out these ideas on them. The very guy who said, Trump is light in a jar. I said, well, tell me about the lightning. Hey, does this 1, 2, 3 work for you? He laughed and said, yes, he added to it. So you can talk to people you really disagree with. And at this juncture in history, when non-BA white men who are his prime target are like this guy I talked to who said, look, there's no narrative from the left for me. There's a big opportunity there to say, okay, I'm coming to town. I like to, visit the holler, and in fact, I do see you. And many of the policies that you'll hear discussed on Ali's program, are Trump's policies are not going to make your life better. Another thing, I think as Trump rails against all the, immigrants coming, Appalachia's not a place anybody's coming in. They're leaving. Okay,
Right.
so how could this, the immigrants, how could that work on this population? I think immigrants have come to represent newcomers, people that may take what little you have.
Right.
And that would be women for well-paid jobs. That would be Blacks. We're the immigrants. They're being made in this emotionally slippery territory, being made to be afraid of. So it's the way that Donald Trump can keep female and Black votes while evoking fear of us. And that too can be named and an appeal can be heard that names that.
Arlie, thank you as always. I'm so grateful for the research you do and the time you take and the patience that you display and the empathy that you have. May we all learn that. Arlie Russell Hochschild is a professor emerita of sociology at University of California, Berkeley, the author of the new book, Stolen Pride, Loss, Shame, and the Rise of the Right.